Hi people! And if you watched my quick update video that I did about me traveling to Philadelphia, this is the follow-up video to that, and I did mention that I was going to do a video, and I'm gonna count this as a deal of the week, because it's deals. It's gonna work for you about how to travel on a budget if you don't have a lot of money, because let me tell you guys, and I know that you see a lot of things online like the penny saver or the penny hoarder, whatever that is, if you have seen what that is, or all these people who are like, I moved to scoop ice cream in Bali and that's my life, anyone can travel. I know that a lot of people see that kind of stuff and they go, no, oh my god, not anyone can travel, it's hard, money, this, that, and the other thing. But I'm here to tell you today that it is possible to travel on a budget in almost any situation that you're in. And I'm gonna tell you a little backstory and then give you some tips on how you can travel too. The first big trip that I ever went on is throwing up. 6 years ago, I went to Japan, and that was my first big trip that I ever went on, kind of by myself, and that I paid for completely by myself in cash. At the time, I was working at the YMCA in my town, literally making below minimum wage. I was coming home with a paycheck every 2 weeks. The most it would ever be was $400. That's the most, that's the highest it would be, and that was if I got lucky, if I worked extra time or something. Usually it was between $250 and $300 every 2 weeks, and that's what I was bringing home. Of course, I had to pay bills and everything like that. I did live at home at the time, so I didn't have to pay rent or anything like that, so that was helpful, but still, I was working with very, very little money and going to school and trying to be a kid and hang out and do all these things on a very, very strict budget. Despite all of that, I managed to save up cash myself and pay for my Japan trip. The way I went to Japan was through EF College Break. I will write the name of the website below and I will link it too. They are still a website, still in existence. It is a website for college kids, I believe ages 18 to 20 something, the upper 20s. I'm not sure what the ages are now. They have changed it since I went, but you can check them out. And that's how I went. It was pretty awesome. I'll explain a little bit more, and not sponsored, just love them, so you guys can trust me. I booked with EF College Break, and my trip to Japan, I'm going to tell you all the real prices as far as I can remember. My entire trip to Japan, that's without spending money and everything, cost about, I'm just gonna estimate upwards, so it cost about $4,000. And what it comes with EF College Break, that includes your flight, all of the transportation, I cannot talk. All of the transportation that you get on the trip, like if you have to take a train, a bus, a boat, whatever, that's included in the price. You get a welcome meal, one included dinner, like in the middle of the trip, and then a goodbye dinner. So you get 3, like basically, you know, fancy dinners. Yeah, you get all of that included in your trip for the price that is shown on the website. And you can also pay off your trip in installments. So if you book your trip early, you can pay it off as you go up until a certain date before the trip. So that makes it pretty easy as well. EF College Break was also really helpful with their customer service and everything. So they're pretty trustworthy, and I had an incredible experience. Let's get to the point. How did I save $4,000? And must I add, I had a little over $1,000 also saved for spending money to buy all of the crazy stuff I wanted to buy in Japan. So how did I get all this money, making basically $200, $300 every 2 weeks and still not dying of starvation? Let's get into the tips I have for you, how you can travel on a budget as well. Might I add, I also understand that some people are in really specific and dire situations where some of this might not be possible, but I do sincerely hope that even one of these tips can help you save money to accomplish your dreams and to travel, if that's something that you have your heart set on. My first tip is stop eating out. Do not eat out. If you go to Starbucks in the morning, get a bagel, breakfast in the morning before you go to work or school, stop. If you eat out with your friends on the weekends, stop. If you buy snacks or something or sodas out, stop. Stop doing it. And I know that that's really, really incredibly hard, but start eating at home. Start buying groceries. If you can go to a discount grocery store that's near you, that's even better. Here we have Aldi, A-L-D-I. I don't know if you have that near you, but it's a discount grocery store where basically I can get groceries for me and my boyfriend for 2 weeks for at most $100. That's for 2 people, meals, breakfast, whatever, for $100. So if you can stop eating out and start shopping at a discount grocery store, or even just the grocery store, it's fine. Start cooking at home. It really is going to save you a ton of money. When I was saving to travel, my friends would make fun of me all the time. I would come out and like go to restaurants with a Tupperware full of food that I brought from my house. No shame. I still do it to this day. I have to do it at work. I bring my lunch to work and I eat in a Tupperware when we go to eat in restaurants. No shame. Just do it. If they try and kick you out, just like say you're allergic or something crazy that they shouldn't be able to kick you out for. I don't know. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You'd be surprised how much money you spend just buying like Starbucks or coffee in the morning when you can make it at home and save yourself a ton of money. If you're still living at home with your parents, take advantage of the free food. Let me tell you, if your parents are cooking for you, just eat it because it's gonna save you so much money. So if you think about it, when you go out, just like pretend you're gonna go buy a cup of coffee instead of going and paying for that, just put that money away for travel. If you're gonna go out to eat with your friends, instead of, calculate how much that meal would have been and then put that money away for travel. No excuses. It's not that hard to eat at home if you have the ability to do so. And it's definitely going to save you a ton of money. Speaking of eating at home and being at home, tip number 2 is live at home. If you're in a situation where you can stay home and live with your parents or whoever you're living with for free or low rent, if you're in a situation to do that, take advantage of it. There will always be time in the future to settle down, get an apartment, do all that good stuff. But if travel is a priority for you, make it a priority. And just suck it up and live at home for a little longer, because do you want to see the inside of your fancy apartment or do you want to see the world? Of course, I understand that some people are in situations where they have to live on their own and they cannot live at home. So this tip might not be for you, but maybe if you can live with a friend or split rent, find some ways to make things cheaper for yourself, definitely do it. Living at home, you don't have to pay for things like electricity, water, all that kind of stuff. Of course, if you're helping your parents out, there's that, but it's definitely going to be cheaper living in your own home than paying for all of that stuff yourself, living on your own or in an apartment, house, whatever. Stay home as long as you can and see the world instead of just your apartment. Tip number 3. I'm going to say envision where you want your money to go. Envision travel. And I know that sounds really silly, but I'm going to explain what I mean. If you're out in the store, you're shopping, walking around, doing whatever, and let's say you see an article of clothing that you want to buy, and you're also planning on traveling, or you want to travel. Think of where you want to travel to, look at the article of clothing, see how much it is, and then just think, you know what? I'm not going to buy this because I can buy a ton of souvenirs when I get to wherever I'm going. I could buy a ton of souvenirs when I travel if I don't buy this item. And then take that money that you're going to spend on whatever it is, bring it home and put it away for your travel fund. Because you can just keep thinking in your head, no, I'm not going to buy this now because I'm going to buy so much great stuff when I travel. No, I'm not going to buy this now because I'm going to go see the world and there's going to be better stuff there than there is here in my hometown, this dinky place that I live. Along with that, if you can at all, leave your money at home. If you're going out with friends for the night or something like that and it's at all possible and you feel safe doing it, leave your money and debit cards and stuff at home. That way you won't be tempted at all to spend it and you'll be saving money for what you really, really want to do. Tip number 4, use discount travel. EF College Break, like I mentioned before, is considered a discount travel site. You travel for cheaply with a bunch of other people and it's a really good experience. Also, Airbnb is becoming really, really popular. You can get places for dirt cheap and stay wherever. They have places all over the world. You can also look on sites like Orbitz, Hotwire, hotels.com, those kind of places to find some deals on travel. Tip number 5, and I say tip number 5 with caution. Get a credit card that gives you rewards in airline miles or travel miles. And the reason why I'm saying this with caution is because you don't want to get in trouble with the credit card. You don't want to have credit card debt because then you're not going anywhere. So if you do plan on traveling and you have this credit card, make sure you always have the cash on hand to pay your bill. But use the card to rack up those airline miles. Capital One has the Capital One Venture card, and what they don't tell you is that the card that's advertised on the commercial, there's actually a $50 fee. But there is a card that doesn't have a fee where I think you earn like 1.5 airline miles for every dollar you spend. English is not okay. But the one that is $50 a year, you earn, I think, 2 airline miles for every dollar you spend. But definitely get the one you don't have to pay for. It's really still going to help you. You didn't have them in the first place, so why not? Again, I really urge you to be careful when getting a credit card. Make sure you always have the cash on hand when you are swiping it because you do not want to get yourself in trouble. And the last tip, tip number 6, and it's probably the most important tip. You have to be patient. You can't be thinking like, oh, in 3 months I'm gonna go do some crazy big trip. Like, if you have the money to do that and that's possible for you with the way that you can save, great. But if you're really on a tight budget, like, that's just not what's gonna happen. You have to be patient, and don't get discouraged if you're only putting like a couple dollars away at a time. As long as you have the fund and as long as you're contributing to it, that's all you need. Just know that that's what you're doing. You can't get discouraged. You just have to keep trying. And it's gonna go slowly, and it might take years, but eventually you're gonna get to the point where you get to go on your dream trip, and that's what makes it all worth it. It took me about, I want to say 2 to 3 years to save up to go to Japan, but ever since I was conscious of what Japan was, I knew that I wanted to go there, and I knew it was something that I wanted to make possible. It definitely seemed impossible at the time, but I knew that that was something in my life that I wanted to be a possibility. I didn't want it to be a dream. I wanted to make it a reality. So I used some of these tips and just did whatever I could to save money. I also have another video on affording expensive items if you would like to take a look. There are some money saving tips in there that might also help you save some extra cash on the side. Basically what I'm going to say is it is possible for you to travel. I believe in you and you can do it. You just have to stop making excuses. Of course, if you're in some sort of horrible situation where any of these tips might be very hard for you, I understand and I'm sorry. I'm not speaking exactly directly to you because I do understand that, yeah, okay, it's not possible for everyone, but I really do hope some of these tips can help you if you are in one of the situations. But if you're just kind of coasting along, you got a job, you're making minimum wage, doing whatever, I hope some of these tips can help you. Because really what it's about is making travel a priority. That's it. Just stop buying stupid stuff. And this is coming from someone who buys stupid stuff every second of every day, all of the time. You really just have to hone in on what you want, and you gotta make that dream a reality. Those are the travel tips I have for you today. If you want to see more travel tips in the future, please comment down below, let me know. I'll try and think of some ways to help. I wish you guys so much luck in all of your adventures. I wish you many happy and amazing journeys. So let me know if any of these work for you. Let me know if they help you go on a trip. Hopefully they're simple and hopefully they kind of conform to anyone. If one or all of these tips can help you, all right. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and click that shiny red button down below. Subscribe to my channel. Also check the description box to like and follow me on all of my social media. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.